हेलो, मैं हूं समीन नवाज और आप देख रहे हैं वॉइस ऑफ साउथ एशिया। प्रोग्राम सोशल रिव्यू में एक मरतबा फिर आपको खुशामदीद कहेंगे। आज के प्रोग्राम में हम लॉकडाउन के दौरान अमरीका में इमिग्रेशन के उमूर के बारे में बात करेंगे। इससे पहले हमने अमरीका में तारकीन वतन के लिए इमिग्रेशन के तरीक़ाकार और दीगर उमूर के बारे में बातचीत की है, लेकिन आज इस प्रोग्राम में हम जिस मौजू पर बात करने जा रहे हैं वो है अमरीका में कोविड-19 की वजह से इमिग्रेशन की दरख्वास्तों में ताख़ीर। हम बात करेंगे कि ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है और कौन इसके बायस सबसे ज़्यादा मुतासिर है। साथ साथ हम बात करेंगे कि अमरीका में लॉकडाउन के बायस ताख़ीर का जो शिकार हैं इमिग्रेशन की दरख्वास्तें, उनका क्या होगा, या इमिग्रेशन की जो दरख्वास्तें इल्तवा का शिकार हैं इनके मसाइल कब तक हल हो सकते हैं, और क्या जो नए दरख्वास्त गुजार हैं अभी उन्हें इमिग्रेशन की दरख्वास्तें जमा करवानी चाहिए या वो इंतज़ार करें कि जब बैकलॉग ख़त्म होगा तो इसके बाद वो नई दरख्वास्तें दें। और आज एक बार फिर इस मौजू पर बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ प्रोग्राम में मौजूद होंगे इमिग्रेशन अटर्नी जोनाथन अफ्तालियन। जोनाथन से गुफ्तगू का बाकायदा आगाज करेंगे, लेकिन एक ब्रेक के बाद।
Your problems is my problems.
मसाइल आपके हैं तो ऐवान में उम्मीदवार भी आपका होना चाहिए।
मैं संजीव जिंदल आपका उम्मीदवार।
तालीम, शऊर और आगाही है मेरा मंशूर। हर फर्द को बनाएंगे बाइख्तियार।
मैं बनूंगा आपकी आवाज न्यूयॉर्क सिटी डिस्ट्रिक्ट 23 से।
अब सियासत होगी सिर्फ अवामी मफाद के लिए, और इस बार आपका वोट न्यूयॉर्क के डिस्ट्रिक्ट 23 से संजीव जिंदल के लिए।
आप अपना वोट देके मुझे कामयाब करें।
वेलकम बैक। प्रोग्राम में एक बार फिर आपको खुशामदीद कहेंगे। और जिस तरह से ब्रेक पर जाने से कबल हम बात कर रहे थे कि अमरीका में ज़ेर इल्तवा इमिग्रेशन दरख्वास्तों के बारे में, और इस पर बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ इस वक्त मौजूद हैं इमिग्रेशन अटर्नी जोनाथन अफ्तालियन। बहुत शुक्रिया जोनाथन आपका अपने प्रोग्राम में एक मरतबा फिर शामिल होने के लिए वक्त निकाला। Jonathan, tell us the changes Biden administration made in immigration policies, if there are any.
Hi, Samin. Thank you so much for having me. This is a great question because now that the government has changed, Biden has had over 100 days to implement certain policies. So a lot of people have this same question. Biden, so far, he's created a lot of task forces, which isn't really doing much. He basically is investigating as to what's going on in the border. He did bring back DACA, which is great, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, and he did take down the Muslim ban. Now, even though he took down the Muslim ban, there's still a lot of problems bringing over family members from overseas through the embassies, because these embassies have been closed due to COVID. So, although Biden has taken off the Muslim ban, he's also put in another executive order which continued what Trump was doing in terms of limiting the amount of people that could come in as legal residents, parents, spouse, or children.
Okay, Jonathan, my next question is, because of COVID-19, US consulates are closed abroad. There are thousands of applicants waiting for their visas, which created a backlog. What and how the US government will process in the timely manner?
So, yes, a lot of the embassies and consulates were closed due to COVID, and due to Trump's executive orders, they were not processing a lot of the applications. Spouses and parents were allowed to be processed, but if you're a legal resident and you wanted to bring a parent or a spouse, or if you were in any other preference category, family preference category, even DV lottery winners, diversity visa lottery winners, those have been stopped, and there's been a serious backlog created. The embassies and consulates have since reopened, So they are technically supposed to be processing these, but I work with the embassies on a daily basis, and a lot of the embassies are not adjudicating a lot of these cases in the family preference categories. So if you're a legal resident, you're still having a lot of problems bringing over family members. If you're a diversity visa winner, you're still having a lot of problems. And I speak to the government every day because we do these lawsuits. We do federal lawsuits against the government. And they tell us that they want to reopen and that they're supposed to reopen, but they haven't been adjudicating any of these visas. So what ends up happening is that people have to pay to do these federal lawsuits, which is what we do, just to get their visas adjudicated. And like you mentioned, there is a big backlog. Based on the numbers that the government is telling us, there's going to be years and years and years of backlog if there's nothing that Biden or Congress does about the backlog. They need to hire more staff. They need to get these embassies and consulates up and running and adjudicate a lot more of these visas, because there are people who have already been waiting many years, and it seems like this backlog is just going to continue for many years moving forward, unless you bring these unlawful delay federal lawsuits which force the government to adjudicate that case.
I want to ask one more question regarding the above one. So as you said, they are going to hire the more people for work, and then what do you think, how long it will take more to complete the process on all those pending applications?
Well, right now there are hundreds of thousands of cases that are backlogged. So it depends on the remedy that the government chooses to do. For right now, a lot of the big litigation in terms of federal lawsuits is because there's an unfair advantage given to U.S. citizens compared to legal residents and diversity visas. So if you're a U.S. citizen, they have been adjudicating the cases in terms of bringing over your mother, father, husband, wife, children. But if you're a legal resident, they have not been adjudicating those cases. So the federal lawsuits that are being brought, the ones that we also work on, says that there's an unfair advantage. You can't say that you don't have enough time and resources to adjudicate these cases, but you're doing it for the U.S. citizens and you're not doing it for anyone else. So the remedy depends on what these courts, what the judges find as what's fair in these courts, and then also hopefully Congress could come in. And we don't know exactly what they're thinking in terms of rectifying this, but there is a huge backlog that needs to have Congress step in so that people could be reunited with their families.
Okay. My another question is any backlog immigration cases in the country due to COVID-19, how the government will handle it?
So you're right, there is a backlog in the US. Now, the backlog is not as bad as what's going on at overseas embassies and consulates. So the backlog created here was that 4 or 5 month period of time where USCIS stopped adjudicating all the visas because USCIS just completely shut down. So we're estimating, but the government, USCIS actually has been doing better, revamping its efforts and getting back on track. So there is a delay, but normally if we did a adjustment of status for a family member, like a green card application, those normally took 10 months. Now I'm estimating 12 to 14 months. So it's not that big of a difference. From what I've seen, it's 2 to 4 months a delay for in the United States cases.
जोनाथन, हमारे पास आपके लिए कुछ और सवालात हैं जिनके जवाबात हम आपसे जानना चाहेंगे, लेकिन इस ब्रेक के बाद हमारे साथ रहिए।
न्यूयॉर्क के डिस्ट्रिक्ट 47 से काउंसिलमैन के डेमोक्रेटिक उम्मीदवार आरी कैगन बनने जा रहे हैं इमिग्रेंट्स की आवाज, क्योंकि इमिग्रेंट्स के मसाइल को बेहतर अंदाज में एक इमिग्रेंट्स ही जान सकता है।
Brothers and sisters, I'm immigrant myself. I came to America more than 28 years ago, so I understand the struggles of immigrant families.
इंतखाब में कामयाबी की सूरत में न्यूयॉर्क के स्कूल सिस्टम में मजीद मौसर तब्दीलियां होंगी। आरी खैगन की पहली तरजीह। साउथ एशियन बिलखुसूस पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी से वोट के लिए आरी खैगन की अपील।
Please vote for Ari Kagan.
वेलकम बैक वंस अगेन। और प्रोग्राम में हमारे साथ जोनाथन अफ्तालियन इमिग्रेशन अटर्नी मौजूद हैं जिनसे हम बातचीत कर रहे हैं। जोनाथन, एज यू से 2 to 4 months is delayed, so now everything is getting reopened because almost everyone got vaccination. Do you think immigration offices will be completely open soon and staff will be there for work and everything will be completely reopened in 4 to 6 months?
I don't know exactly when it's going to be normal again. I am in 26 Federal Plaza a lot, and for those who don't know, that's the immigration office here in New York, and it's very different. Before, when I was there, the waiting rooms were packed with people. There were hundreds of people in there waiting for their appointments. Now, when I go in, it's still very limited, the amount of people that are in there. So I see that they're not adjudicating as many cases as they were before. I think that they're waiting for these mandates to be lifted. You know, New York isn't completely reopened yet. Once it does completely reopen, they could fill those spaces with more people in the waiting rooms. They could have more officers come in and they could adjudicate more cases. So we still have to wait a little bit longer. And maybe by the end of the year they're able to catch up on their backlog.
Okay, so many people wants to file the new applications for their relatives or parents or spouse. So now still we are in the backlog. So what do you think new applicants have to file their applications or wait for the backlog is going to over, then they file the applications?
This is a very good question because I think a lot of people are scared to file new cases during COVID. You should file the case as soon as possible. The sooner you file, the closer you are in line, and the closer you are in line, the faster your case is going to be adjudicated. So if you're eligible to apply for someone, you should do it as soon as possible because hopefully the backlog does fix itself. But even if it doesn't, you're still going to be better off filing it now than waiting like 6-8 months.
Okay, my next question is there anything an applicant can do to speed up for his or her pending applications?
So right now, there isn't much, okay? We do have to be understanding that USCIS was closed for a period of time, so cases are taking a little bit longer. Now, if your case has been delayed for over a year, let's say it's been 12-14 months, there is something you could do. You could bring federal lawsuit against the government for unlawful delay. That's within your rights. That's within the law. And once you file that federal litigation, then the government does work to process your application. So if there's something where you do want it to move faster, where you really need to have a green card for your wife, for your husband, for your parents, for your children, whoever it may be, there are ways to do it. It's called a mandamus. It's a writ of mandamus filed against the U.S. government, and that compels the government. It forces the government to adjudicate your case because there has been an unlawful delay in your case. And those typically I'll recommend if it's been over a year and you really need to have the visa adjudicated right away.
Jonathan, as we spoke about before, due to COVID-19, overseas American embassies have backlog. Is there any way that we can expedite our relatives' immigration cases from US?
Yeah. So this is called a National Visa Center expedite request. So there are ways that you could expedite it. You send the request to NVC, to National Visa Center, and then they send the request to the embassy or consulate where the immigrant visa application is currently. That embassy or consulate decides whether the case warrants an expedite or not. So when they look at the expedite, they see, is it in the national interest of that person to come into the United States? So if you have a relative that you filed a petition for and they work as a nurse or a doctor or anything in terms of COVID relief or medical relief or frontline workers, that is in the national interest for that person to come to the United States. So that's a typical expedite request that could be granted. If the person abroad is sick, if they're very, very, very sick, like let's say you have an old, elderly sick parent, and they really need to come to the United States faster so that they could have the medical services here, that also warrants a good expedite case. If there's general like financial issues, if there's pregnancy issues, if someone is pregnant and you want to witness the birth of your child and you want that child to be born in the United States, there's a lot of different ways that you can make expedite requests. For that, you could either do it on your own or you could hire an attorney to help you do it, and then it's up to the embassy whether they expedite it or not.
Jonathan, as the program time getting over, and I have a last question to you. If someone filed the federal lawsuit, how it's work?
That's a great question. So first, you would, it's a writ of mandamus. So there's the Administrative Procedures Act, and so that's an APA claim, and then there's also mandamus relief that you could get in these types of cases. Basically, we're forcing the government to admit that there has been a delay, that they're obligated by Congress to adjudicate your case in a reasonable amount of time, and they have not been doing their duty of adjudicating your case in a reasonable amount of time. So you would work with an attorney. Again, we can do this. Any attorney can do this, or an attorney who specializes in federal litigation. You'd get the facts of your case. So the attorney would take the immigrant visa number, when the application was first filed, any severe issues that the family has been going through due to the unlawful delay, basically the facts of the case in general. Then you would send that with the law of the mandamus and the Administrative Procedures Act. You'd create a complaint. That complaint is filed with the federal government, and it's served upon the Attorney General and the U.S. Attorney. Then what we would do is we work with the U.S. Attorney if there's any negotiations that we need to make. Because once we file the lawsuit, the government has 60 days to respond to that lawsuit. Okay? Usually what happens is in these 60 days, an agreement could be made where the government agrees that there has been an unlawful delay in your case, and then the attorney forces that embassy or forces USCIS, whoever it may be, to actually adjudicate your case, and then once it's adjudicated, we would drop the lawsuit so that they don't have to do the answer to the complaint. Now, if that doesn't happen, they have 60 days to answer the complaint. We go in front of the judge, and then they file their answer. Then we could do summary judgment. Then we get into the federal litigation. But for a vast number of cases, those are resolved within that 60 to 90 day period after filing the lawsuit. That's why a lot of people do it.
बहुत शुक्रिया। जोनाथन अफ्तारियान इमिग्रेशन अटर्नी हमारे साथ आज के इस प्रोग्राम में मौजूद थे और हम कुछ बातचीत कर रहे थे अमेरिका में लॉकडाउन या कोविड-19 की वजह से ज़ेर इल्तवा उन दरख्वास्तों के बारे में जो वहाँ मौजूद तारकीन वतन जो है वो दायर कर चुके हैं, लेकिन चूंकि इस वक्त बैकलॉग में एक बहुत बड़ी तादाद लोगों की मौजूद है और वो ताख़ीर का शिकार हैं उनकी दरख्वास्तें, तो अभी मज़ीद कितना वक्त लगेगा उनको इस तमाम तर सिचुएशन से नबरद आज़मा होने के लिए। और इसके अलावा जो नए दरख्वास्त गुजार हैं, क्या अभी उनको इस बैकलॉग के ख़त्म होने का इंतज़ार करना ज़रूरी है या वो इमिग्रेशन के हवाले से दरख्वास्तें दायर कर सकते हैं? जोनाथन अफ्तारियान इमिग्रेशन अटर्नीज़ पर हमारे साथ मौजूद थे। आज के इस प्रोग्राम के लिए फ़िलहाल इतना ही। अगले हफ्ते एक और प्रोग्राम के साथ आपके सामने हाजिर होंगे। प्रोग्राम टीम के साथ समीन नवाज़ को इजाज़त दीजिए। अल्लाह ने के बाद।